Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, single bottle, never stop it. So the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in the...
Go ahead, Greg. You got this.
Welcome to Bengals and Bruised. I am your host, Greg Luther, with my co-host, Dale Altman, and my co-host, Pork Chop. We are sponsored here by Midwest Best Barbecue and 50 West Beer. Both are awesome. Thank you so much for what you do for all of us. What up, Strawberry?
Woo day.
Woo day.
Oh, he got woo day.
Woo day.
Yeah.
Rude Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So, playoffs, we got that to talk about. We're also going to take a look at the free agent offensive tackle class, specifically Mike Onwenu, played for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Played guard, moved to tackle, played pretty well at tackle. So, got some PFF stuff here to go through, stuff like that. But we can start with playoffs. That kind of sucked. The weekend kind of sucked.
Yeah, no. This fucking weekend sucked, man. Not a goddamn thing went the way I wanted it. Oh, the Lions won. So
Portland Spartans. The Portland Spartans. Positive. Everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
They fucking ruined my Sunday, man, because I don't even give a shit about the AFC Championship now. The fuck?
No,
I just can't. Idea. I know I know a lot of people say they're rooting for the Ravens. I can't. I mean, like,
I can't.
I just can't. I can't.
You say root for the Ravens or root against?
A lot of people are saying root for the Ravens because of the Chiefs. There's no way I'm rooting for either team. It's just whatever. We were hoping an NFC team wins the Super Bowl. Let's just put it that way.
That was my idea.
100%, Greg. I only want the goddamn Lions to win. Everybody else can fuck off.
No, yeah, the Lions, yeah. But no. But if I had to give an order, Lions, Niners, and that's it after that.
There's no one else.
There's no one else.
Let's look at the positives, though, because I've tried. You know me. I'm always trying to look at the positives.
They call him Mr. Positive. Everybody calls him that. What is happening now? Why?
Look at the positives with the pork chop.
Now you start having strobe lights.
Look at the positives with the pork chop. You gotta go like this.
I want to see. Oh, more stuff goes off.
I figured it out, man. Watch it. You go like this, and you get lasers. Woo! Look at the positives.
There you go. Positive vibes.
This is a hand signal thing?
It's a hand signal thing. Watch this. Ravens. Yeah. Lions.
Oh, God. People that listen to this in podcast form is not going to have any clue what's going on. So podcast form, Chop had balloons come up the other day out of nowhere. So apparently he's figured out this hand signal thing. Now he's doing thumbs down will go up, thumbs up. Yeah. He's got strobe lights with certain hand signals. It's out of control. This is all Chop's going to be doing now on the show when he's just over there.
There's one for confetti, but I can't. Nope, that's the balloons. I think the confetti's supposed to be the two. Yeah. What's up? Here we go. Woo!
Does that do that for me too, or is that just a you thing?
It's a Apple thing.
It doesn't care about me.
My computer's a Mac.
Oh. Hey, Dale.
Oh, so you're rich. Okay.
By the way, Dale, liking the sweatshirt.
Lasers, boys. Lasers.
Where they? By the way, Dale, liking the sweatshirt you got there, bud.
Yeah. You get this from the Chop Shop.
Matching shirt.
Bengals and Bruce. New merch on the Chop Shop.
Chop Shop 513. New website's coming out too, man. I've been working on a new store so that it's better organized. But back to before the fucking lasers and confetti and balloons and stuff. I'm trying to find a positive. So here's the positive if the Ravens win, all right? If the Ravens win, because to be honest, if I'm going to be honest, I think they're the best team in the Final Four here.
They've played the best football the second half of this season.
They look good the other day too. So this is the positive. If they win, we get to kick the shit out of the fucking Super Bowl champs next year twice.
There you go.
And Well, there ain't much other positive than
That's
that.
it. That's it.
Yeah. And
Lamar seems likable. Like, I don't have like a problem with Lamar Jackson.
No, he's a good guy.
He doesn't cry around the whole game.
No.
Like Pat Mahomes. That's probably like if I have to root for one, you don't really have to root. But if I say, okay, who would I just guess moves on and who doesn't? The Chiefs have been there so many times. Get somebody else playing in the Super Bowl. I'd love to see two new teams, two teams for recency wise, and the Ravens and the Lions in the Super Bowl. That would be cool. And it would screw up the graphic. On team screw up the graphic.
You're right.
I don't want to see the Chiefs because they still no.
You would think almost if it is scripted, the NFL would just be like, throw out the fucking script. They fucking found us out, man, on the colors. Put some other people in there. Throw them off. Well,
everybody's like, what will that graphic be next year? I'm like, they're going to put a little bit of every team's logo on it soon. Just
right. They're just going to.
It's like, what's the point of watching? We already know who's going to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, that motherfucker going to look like was in a paintball war.
Yeah.
Coming up. When an AFC championship game starts going, that's when I'll figure out who I'm going to root for. Because for some reason, like if I don't even like any teams in the game, when I'm watching it, for some reason, I'll just start like feeling some kind of way. Like I hope they score or get them or what. I'll probably find out who I'm rooting for then. But looking in the future, I think I'm going to root for fucking Baltimore because I fucking am over Kansas City. I'm over Travis. I'm over Pat. And I'm over that stupid fucking bitch Taylor Swift.
Hey, can't say that, Chop.
Hey.
You're just breaking Greg's heart. He's gonna quit.
I know.
He's gonna quit. You can't talk bad about Taylor Swift.
Fuck her.
Greg.
Man, if she wanted a tight end where I could fucking be behind her, Drew Sample.
She should dump Travis and get with Drew Sample.
Yeah, she should dump Travis and get with Drew, and then I'll fucking be a Swiftie. I'll figure out the name of once. I think there's a song called Romeo and Juliet. And the only reason I know that is because Joe fucking played that song to his wife.
That's called that's Love Story by her album Fear.
See? Thank God.
This guy. Oh, he's on it.
I got to tell you, Greg, I appreciate that because I feel better knowing that I didn't know any of that stupid ass songs.
Not Greg.
Nope.
He knows everything about Taylor Swift.
Not everything. So like when she got up, yeah, dude. I totally hear you, Chris. That was just a bum thing.
That would hurt me. Green Bay had that, and that would have been fun, right? We could all felt like it was Thanksgiving at night again.
No, kickers just really cost two teams. Unfortunately, man, it's just very unfortunate how it has to come down to a kicker at times. So yeah,
imagine not having a clutch kicker in the playoffs.
Hey. By the way, Glenn Goodberry, we love you, man. We hope you're doing all right. Bills, we feel for you. We feel for Bills fans right now. Hope you're all doing well over there.
Man, Josh Allen looked like he needed to be on suicide watch in that post-game press conference, didn't he?
I didn't watch it.
I didn't even watch it, but I'm sure I can only imagine. Oh, my God.
I mean, I didn't feel bad for him last year when we went up there and did it to him, but I feel bad now that Kansas City did it.
Right.
Cocksuckers. Hey, and I'll bet you when they got done, I'll bet that Josh Allen went right up to fucking Pat Mahomes and said congratulations and stuff.
Yeah.
Unlike what Pat did earlier in the year when he was fucking crying about that offsides call.
That's why I just can't root for him, man. I can't stand when you're like that poor of a sportsman. And somebody said Lamar didn't shake Joe's hand when they lost. And that's poor sportsmanship too. Yeah. And that's why normally, I would say beat the Ravens almost 99 out of 100 times. This is the 1 out of 100. It's the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl.
Look what we got in the chat here, Dale.
Hey, baby.
What's up, Shelly? How you doing? Hope you're liking that jersey.
I like her little collage for her picture.
That's awesome, Shelly.
It's got that stud Jimmy in it. That's just basically what everybody calls him, Stud Jimmy.
Yeah, he's Kevin. What's his name? All grown up.
Yeah.
Kevin, what the fuck is his last name, Greg?
I don't know, but it's the kid, right, from I See Dead People or whatever.
Oh, Haley Joel.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've told her that about James. James gets it all the time. He gets it all the time.
Those younger pictures of him,
right?
Just like the younger.
Well, his son looks dead on that too.
Right. When I dropped the jersey off at Chili's, I actually told her about that. She says he got it all the time.
He said dead.
We love you, Shelly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's enough for playoffs. We'll probably talk about playoffs again on Friday. Preview this weekend's games, even though basically we hope both teams lose in the AFC, and we're buying NFC hats like Rob Lowe with his NFL hat.
Right.
And that's the rooting guide. And not really the Niners either. It's just the Portsmouth Spartans.
Yes, I have had the chili. The chili is really good, by the way.
I want the chili, man, but I'm working.
We love you too, Shelly.
Greg, you go get me a bowl of chili.
No, I'll get you a bowl of chili. No, chili is very good. It's like Texas-style chili. I'm not even really a big fan of Texas-style chili, but it is so good.
They're going to run out, man.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was only for the weekend. They had ribs. Ribs is like every third weekend of the month. I guess doing the same with the chili, hopefully. But, yeah, it is so worth getting.
When Greg talks in his sleep, it's menu items from Midwest.
Well, no, when my family got to try the grip. My family we were having family over, and I ordered some grip-on G-Funk. And some of my family didn't come over, so I had to eat more of the wings. That was a very tough day for me.
Man, I'll bet.
Poor bastard.
You probably called suicide hotline.
Oh, yeah.
I want to try the ribs for sure. Like, I'm not a big chili person. Like, Marissa's, she's like, oh, I bet that chili's amazing. And I'm sure it is. But me personally, like, I definitely want to try those ribs. Like, I probably would have got ribs, Greg, when we went. But like you said, it's a limited thing. So make sure you go when they have it, guys, because they don't always have it.
Hey, wait a minute. So does this mean the third Saturday coming in February, which is around Pork Chop's birthday, you're coming up to Midwest Best?
That's right.
We're having a birthday party at Midwest Best for Pork Chop? What?
Yeah, I guess so. All right.
Woo, party. Yeah.
Oh,
all right, birthday.
Oh, my God.
This is Pork Chop's leap year birthday. This is like his 13th. I mean, come on, Dale.
It's only going to be my 13th birthday.
This is a big one. Turning 13. You're a teenager?
Man. I'm a teenager.
That's incredible, Chop.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So free agency off. I can't even think. Chop's got me all fucked up with all this stuff coming on the screen. But the free agent offensive tackle class, Jonah Williams played right tackle this year, moved over from left. I know a lot of people's like, oh, he didn't play good. PFF ranking wise, I'll go ahead and spit that out here. He ranked 60th overall at offensive tackle. So, yeah, 58.5 overall, 57.9 pass. Run blocking, it was 54. So PFF wise, which they're not to be all end all. We always say
only
that.
64 of them, right?
Well, they rank more than that, and it depends how many snaps. If a guy reaches a certain snap threshold, and you can change for if they didn't have enough snaps, blah blah blah. But he was 60th out of the ones with enough snaps to be counted. So there might be 70 or 80 guys on there. I don't know, but he was 60 out of whatever it was. You know what I mean? I didn't quite look at the exact number, but not ideal. I know it wasn't just 64, though. There's more than 64, but he was 60th out of probably 80-something is my guess. So not great, but I thought he played a little better than that. But, he still had some – and down the stretch, maybe – I don't know. He's probably gone either way, right? Regardless of what you think about Jonah, and if you already wanted to get rid of him before – there's a good chance he's not back here because he's still like 26 years old. He's going into free agency. It's his biggest chance to get paid of his career. Offensive tackles are important. He's first-round pick. Somebody's going to like those traits. He's played a ton of football, had some injuries here and there, but nothing like major that would scare you away from offering him a contract if you're opposing team really needing a veteran. And he could play left or right tackle. So that's going to appeal to a lot of football teams in the NFL. So with all that said, if Jonah is gone, maybe they re-sign him. I'm okay if they re-sign him. I'm not going to hate it, but it's got to work for both sides. I'm talking today is on the basis that he is gone. So we'll kind of look at the free agents. We can talk about some of the offensive tackles for the draft a little bit, but we'll get into them more later. First one, spread me on your biscuit, says man, Gravy.
You got you. I got you, Gravy.
I did just wake up. It's like breakfast time. Sounds good.
So Mike Onwenu, 6'3", 350. That dude is big, powerful son of a bitch right there.
Yeah.
But him, as far as PFF grades, he graded out 29th. So you got Jonah at 60. He graded out 29. They had him at tackle as well. The overall was 71.5, pass blocking 68, run blocking 62. So he does both, at a pretty high level. The 68, once again, isn't like, for most people already know this, but if you don't, the 68 isn't like if you were in school, 68, that's not a real great grade, or a 72. No, these are high grades. You don't see a lot of hundreds and 90s for anybody in the NFL as far as PFF grades. So the 71.5 overall is a really good grade, especially in comparison to, like I said, Jonah Williams, 57.9, pass block, 58.5 overall. So he would be an upgrade basically in every aspect there, but he's also another younger guy. He's coming off his rookie contract. Coming out of Michigan, he was a 6th-round pick, so he wasn't a first-round pick either that's made a ton of money. He was a 6th-round guy making a smaller contract. I think he's also, like you were saying there, Greg, he's going to be looking to get paid. But just take the financials out for a minute, because if he's the highest-paid offensive tackle, I'd say the Bengals are out of that market.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just most likely. If they're not going to pay Jonah, they're probably not going to play this guy. They probably play the guy they know, the guy who knows the system, the guy who, if they're going to pay somebody big money. But let's just say maybe they can come. Maybe he wants to play here. Maybe he wants to protect Burrow. Maybe he doesn't get that initial huge contract on day one of free agency. Or maybe it is with the Bengals. They say, we just got to have this guy, and they have something worked out. What do you guys think about adding a guy like Mike Onwenu?
I'm good. But the fact, not just right tackle, but the fact also he can, if something happens to Orlando Brown, he can move over to left tackle if you need him to. I mean, right there. And like you say, better pass block, better grade than Jonah Williams. I'm all for it, but the only problem, I think, is money. But other than that, though, I'm all for it, 100%.
I don't know how much he's played left tackle, Greg, but he's played guard, so he's got the guard.
Well, there you go. He can play guard, too.
Yeah. And maybe he did play some left tackle with New England. I'm not sure if he came in for Trent Brown, or I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Did he mostly play guard or tackle?
He's mostly played guard. This year, they had him fill in at tackle. I
All year?
don't know off the top of my head. No, I think it was at least the second half of the year.
All right. I'm just wondering about his grade.
It was a good enough sample size.
But the grade you said at 68, that's combined grade between guard and tackle, right?
I would assume.
Yeah.
I don't know if they only put.
I just wonder what the breakdown is from what's his grade at tackle and what's his grade at guard. But, they don't give that. I think, to tell you the truth, I think I'd rather stick with Jonah if we can sign him, but that's a really good option to free agency because I don't want to rely on the draft for the right tackle, although I think that there's going to be a couple good right tackles in the draft available at 18.
Yeah, it is a loaded draft class.
But I'd rather get a fucking road grader defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we're looking outside of him, so let's say he gets outpriced, Jonah doesn't come back. If you're looking, it's not a huge, strong class. I see somebody asking about Jermaine Illuminor, who is another guy that we were interested in last year. He signed just a 1-year, $3 million deal. That blew my mind because that's a guy that we were like, get him in here. His PFF grades were really good last year. And again, this year, he was 36th overall.
Jeez.
So, I mean, he was still pretty solid this year, again, playing right tackle. 68.5 overall, 64.4 pass, 71.5 run. So he's a little better as a run guy, but I mean the pass blocking still grades out better than what Jonah did. But overall, he's just been a very solid guy. He is 29 years old right now. I think he's just turned 29, so he'd be 29 for the season next year. So it's not like age is anything crazy there. Whereas Jonah's 26. I don't have Onwenu's year in front of me. But and Magic Miguel here. Trent Brown was another guy I had highlighted. There's literally only about 3 or 4, and then maybe 1 or 2 like dark horse guys.
And the reason I say that I'd rather stick with Jonah is because the continuity. There's something to be said for continuity too. Jonah was 60, and all these other guys are a little bit above him, but there's something to be said with knowing the system and continuity. But either way, I'm not going to be. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to get upset. If Jonah signs, that's fine. But it sounds like there's going to be a few on the open market that I think that Cincinnati's going to make a push for somebody in the offseason. Free agency.
Yeah, Magic Miguel says Illuminor can play left and right. He's played guard, too. I know he played guard for a while with the Raiders as well. So a lot of versatility.
We got Tom Justin here. What's up, Tom?
Yeah. Maybe Juwan Taylor. Juwan Taylor sucked this year, didn't he? Yeah. He wasn't great, was he?
Yeah, he was awful. Like he was like way lower than Jonah.
Yeah, he got fired from the left, and then he sucked at the right. I don't want his ass. And keep his big ass.
Well, they said they were bringing him as a left. They never played him at left. They played him at right, which he always was.
Yeah.
But one here that really interests me is Trent Brown. So he's going to be turning 31 soon. That's not ancient. I mean, we've seen guys that tackle that can hold up pretty well. And he's got that sweet tattoo. Remember, Trent Brown's the guy we were showing the tattoo last year when we talked about free agency of like the women chopped.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. I could tell you weren't getting it, so I was like, come on,
wait a minute. What? You said the women. I'm like, oh, yeah.
But for Trent Brown, so overall, 10th rated overall offensive tackle per PFF. 10th overall. Damn. These are left and right tackles. Overall, 80.3 grade, 72.8 in the pass, and run 80.8. I mean, the run grade is damn near elite. He's a huge guy. He's got pretty solid feet for a guy of his size. He's just always got the job done. The thing is, he got a big payday before when he went to the Raiders. Didn't even really make it a year. Went back to New England after where he was good. So I don't know, will he be good outside of New England? We don't really know that for sure. But, I mean, everything that shows you there, at least looking per PFF, he'd be a damn good. And, maybe a guy you can get for 1 year, $4 or $5 million. If you can do that, him or Jermaine Illuminor. And that was the point that somebody else was making earlier. Magic Miguel was making. So if you can get somebody for cheaper, that is just as talented or more talented than Jonah. I'm all for that. You know what I mean? You save a little money there because you got the bigger contracts you got to give. What you're going to do with T. I think we need to load up on veterans in general. We've talked about that a little bit. We'll talk about it more.
Yes, please. I hope that there's a big free agency. That's what we need this year.
Yes,
that's what all of the Bengals fans are looking forward to.
Yeah, like I said, I know we got it last year with Orlando Brown, but if we can get 2, let's aim for 2 this year at least. Get it, find a way to get that right tackle. Who knows? Maybe it could be through a trade or something. Maybe somebody gets cut, because of salary cap issues or something, and we go out and get that guy. But Dale, I think we've always talked about you don't want to go into the draft having to draft a certain position. You don't want to do that.
No, if you can leave first round open for best player available,
yes.
It's what you do because you don't know how the draft's going to go. Come draft day, you're picking at 18. That's 17 other teams that's picking in front of you. Some positions you can get a rough idea, but what happens now if all of a sudden all these teams start taking tackles? Because Fuaga, I'm seeing him going 10th overall a lot to the Jets. The Jets are basically locked in, and honestly, there could be 2 teams that take Alt and Fashanu, before that. So then you're looking. Fuaga goes off the board at 10. Maybe somebody wants Latham.
Who's that big that guy that Frank Pollock was with New York? The big guy to Louisville, 6'7".
Mekhi Becton. I don't have him down here. He's not even on this. Maybe he still has a year on his contract. I'm not 100% sure.
Because they debated to cut him last year, and they did. Excuse me.
But injuries. I think he got injured again at times this year. So that's the thing. I don't know that Becton. I mean, he would be one of those, if he's going to come in on a 1 year, $2 or $3 million deal, then you bring him on because at worst you've got a good swing tackle, a good extra blocker, when you go heavy. So to me, I could definitely see, bringing a guy like Becton, but it's not going to be at a huge price or anything because it's just too much risk with the injuries. He's still really young. I obviously liked him coming out. He's the top 15, top 20 guy in the draft. I'll give one more name of a veteran who just finished up with the Texans this year. He was on a 1-year deal. George Fant at right tackle. So he's getting ready to turn. He'll be probably 32 around when the season is starting. So a bit older, but nothing super crazy. And he was 54th overall. So he wasn't way ahead of Jonah, but a little bit. And if you're getting him for $3 or $4 million for a 1-year deal, as a veteran compared to Jonah maybe wanting 15 million or 15 to 20 million. I'm just spitballing. I don't know if he'll get that, but I'm just saying if he wants 15 million, we'll say, and 4 years, and you're getting a guy for 1 year, 3 or 4 million that can play just as well, if not maybe a tick better, then give me that guy for sure. And you still go in the draft and you can still find a right tackle. It just wouldn't have to necessarily be in the first round, or maybe it is. If there's a guy you love, you take him. You're set either way that way. So that's kind of my thoughts on the offensive tackle class. I still think draft is most likely, but of those names, Fant, Trent Brown. We already talked about Onwenu, so I'll keep him out of this because I think he could end up. I honestly really think he could end up being like the premier highest guy with the versatility. Just he's kind of his upward trajectory is good, but he's also coming out of the Patriots system who just produce linemen and then they don't always produce other places. So that's a question mark. But Illuminor, Fant, Trent Brown, out of those few guys, who would you want of those three?
You go ahead, Chop.
I like Illuminor, same as we had last year. You know, if we can get him in here. And wasn't he like, I thought that he was talking about like he was possibly going to come here. And then at the last minute, we saw that the Raiders re-signed him last year. Isn't that right?
Well, he didn't necessarily talk about it, but you know how when I have a little fun with the paint and I put him in a Bengals jersey?
Oh, yeah.
Like he was like commenting on that and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got personal love for that man.
That was awesome.
He saw that, like, you know.
I'd still like to see him
come out with it again, man.
Anybody that graded out fucking twice as good as Jonah, bring him in.
Bring him in. He's, like you say, 29 years old. And tackles can still play good and even into the mid-30s. I mean, that seems like a good fit right there. I mean, the Patriots guy obviously would be a good one, but yeah, we agree on that one, Tyler.
Yeah,
with the Patriots, but like I say, money's going to be the issue right there. And I'd still like to try to get Jonah back because you want to keep the same core, but we got to look at other options here. I think, like as Tom in the comments said, just think he's going to be too expensive. But yeah, get me a Illuminor if you can get him like $3 million. Are you kidding me? Sign me up for that, man.
Yeah, I mean, $4 or $5 million. Say, hey, I'll give you a raise. You can make $4 million this year.
And do it.
Extra million, baby.
If you're going to do it for that, give him 3 years.
But Becton, don't be surprised they go after Becton because of Frank Pollock. I know he had injury issues, but Frank Pollock knew him in New York, so I wouldn't be surprised if they went after him.
Yeah, I'm not going to rule Becton out. But
that's right. I forgot about this. David Mojetta.
Yeah, but he signed a 1 year, $3 million.
He did sign a 1 year
deal. Maybe the problem with and hey, we gotta stop that sometime, right? This guy's going to continue to probably add players, and he's already represents several other ones we have. Like I know Joseph Asai. I'm not sure if he represents. I thought maybe I seen DJ Turner or something, Chop. I'm not sure on that, but I thought maybe I did. So you got to break that sometime, right? If you got to be able to get a contract, regardless of who the agent is.
Like you said, he signed him for 1 year last year, so that's kind of encouraging words.
And then, do you guys want to talk about the tackle prospects? I mean,
sure, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
come on, let's do this.
We should talk about the draft a little
Dale
more.
Jeremiah. Dale, that's your new nickname, Dale Jeremiah.
No, I said Del Kuiper because Mel Kiper, that just sounds better.
All right.
So I refuse to be compared to any of those guys, man.
Okay,
so super amateur scout who doesn't have
so your official
half
nickname
the top
is,
end shit that those guys have.
Your official nickname, you says Dale Kuiper?
Dale Brooks.
No, I don't have one.
All right, fair enough.
I don't do nicknames, Greg. God damn it. That's why you're on here as BSG. He's on here as Pork Chop. I don't do fucking nicknames.
He's just Dale.
Baby. But yeah, so the tackle class overall, who do you guys want to talk about? I don't care. You guys in the chat want to talk about somebody, you can say who you like.
Well, the one I see mocked to us the most is JT Latham. He's so talk about him. Tell us about him, Dale.
JC Latham, big, powerful sumbitch, strong hands. Didn't have a great game against Michigan. People are lower, but I've honestly seen him could go as high as in the top 10, but so many people are mocking him to 18. It's a really good offensive tackle class. I mean, I can sit here and list off names, and we will. We'll deep dive into that class more. But there's a lot to like with Latham. He's still fairly young. He's got a ton of experience playing in Alabama. I like a lot about him. I honestly didn't even bring my draft notes. That's just shit off the top of my head.
Yeah. I'm
sure I got him somewhere, but I think he's going to be really good. Like his tape's really good. He's young. He's powerful. He's got good movement skills for a guy that size. He's got to watch out being a little handsy, penalty, stuff like that.
Is he a day one starter?
I think he would be. I think this is a good class to need an offensive tackle.
Dale, so the one he concerns me because he only played 7 games. I know he's got the measurables. Tell me about Mims out of Georgia.
Yeah, that's the biggest concern, Greg. It's less than 10. I've seen 8, 7, 8, 9.
Right.
I don't know the exact number of starts, but I think it was Georgia Tech game. I watched that game and I was like, holy shit, man, this guy's tape is elite. He's just
what's up, buddy?
Oh, Antoine's with you there, Chop.
Yep. Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck Taylor Swift.
I'm gonna see if I. Well, I
It
know
was nice to see Jason Kelsey classing that fucking box up yesterday. You know.
Me looking through papers, but I'm trying to get with technology, guys. I'm sitting there looking through papers, and I forget that I've been doing a lot of these notes on my phone now. I at least transferred them after I started them on paper.
Yeah.
So they're always with me. All right. So what I've got for Latham, I'll just read you off my pros and cons for him. You guys are getting a little preview of the draft stuff that we're going to have in the draft guide for a whole $1. So I really hope you guys can purchase that. All the money goes directly to Project Game Day to help get adults with special needs and military veterans to some games this upcoming year. We're going to try to get to all 8. Matty Meyer, Jackpot Joey already donated 4 games to that cause. Trying to get 4 more of these ones. We're trying to get something in the handicap section. So if somebody's in a wheelchair, this and that, it'll be handicap accessible. So anyways, JC Latham, elite size, hand power, functional street, natural athleticism. So that's pros I have for him just watching his tape. Cons, sustaining blocks. So keeping on the blocks, for an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
Speed
Joe
rushers.
gets the ball out quick too, so that helps.
Well, anytime you're like 6'6", 360,
Right.
Speed rushers around the edge can give you some problems. I mean, there's almost no tackles that's not going to have a little bit of that, as a con. Speed rushers always give problems. That's why they're so valuable in the NFL. And then also inside counter moves. So he can be susceptible to when someone sets up an inside counter move, they get inside on him and get a good pass rush on the quarterback. But, I mean, overall, the size, the athleticism, the strength, the power, you're getting a day one just plug and play, to me, right tackle in J.C. Latham. And some people will be like, oh, he went to Bama. I try not to scout the helmet or worry about that because every player's different. But at the same point in time, it does come in your head like, man, we picked Jonah Williams, with a high first-round pick. So I'd be lying if I said that. But this guy has played right tackle. I think he played guard as like a freshman, started at guard a little before they moved him to right tackle. So he's done a little of both. But he's played right tackle and played right tackle alone a lot, where Jonah played right tackle as a freshman, and then he was left tackle exclusive for 2 years, and then in the NFL for a long time. So you're getting a guy, and I like that, honestly. You always say, well, this guy could project to this guy could project to that. But to me, I'm like, just where the guy's played, where his tape is, if he's done well there, and if he can stay there and you got a need there, put him there, keep him there, don't worry about it. So that's what I think as far as Latham.
Damn. I didn't know that there was some stigmatism with Alabama.
I'll say this about Andre Smith.
Andre Smith ended up being a very good
He was a
right
damn
tackle.
good right tackle. People rip on Smith all the time. He was a damn good right tackle for
And
him.
I'm not saying Will was ripping on him, but he didn't end up living up to the number 6 overall pick.
Right. No, yeah, but he's still
But that whole class, he was the only one. If you go back and look at that class of the tackles, he was the only one that had a pretty long, solid career. The rest of the tackles that went before him and after really didn't do a lot.
No, they did not.
So I thought, he ended up being a good pick. But, yeah, he definitely had some problems and keeping his weight under control. I mean, if you guys watch Hard Knocks, that was a big thing on there. Mike Brown, like, oh, goddamn, basically. Mike Brown's like, no, looks like we need to slim you down.
Right.
And it's like, goddamn, Mike Brown, you're harsh as fuck. But I feel you. I really like Tyler Guyton, too. Just toss out another name. I don't know if anybody talked about him, but he just continued. It's hard not to continue to rise. And I think he can play left tackle if needed, but played right tackle at Oklahoma.
That's true, though. We do need someone to publish out a draft guide for Dale.
No, I'll
one.
look into it, and I'll get a job at a printing company. We'll see what happens.
Well, it's gonna be online, and you get access to that. And then if you want to print it off, you can. It's similar to how Dane Brugler does the Beast.
Right.
He does a similar thing there. But if you're coming to the draft event at Midwest, we're going to try to get some printed out to have for the people that are coming there. We haven't announced this yet, and I'll probably get yelled at by Matt. But for that event, we would be asking for like a $5 charge to get in. But that's going to cover you're getting, not just the draft guide, but, access to everything. And if there's any special guests, all that. And it's mainly you're helping a good cause, So I really hope that don't deter people because that's one of those things. It's like, you hate to ask for $5, but at the same point in time, this is to raise money. Right. And when you're asking places like Cincy Hat to come and be selling their stuff, you're not taking money off of their charity, for your project either. So to put this event on, so I just want to let you guys know that and be upfront about it. Just FYI.
Right.
What's up, Derek?
What's going on, everybody?
What up?
Oh, just on my way home from work.
Well, we've covered the draft guide. You're late getting in here, by the way.
Yeah.
You're like 40 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm
Lacking.
it was a rough day at work today.
Yeah. But we covered all the free agents. It's not a long list, like I said. Mike Onwenu, Illuminor is going to be back on the market. Fant, who finished up with the Texans, that played with the Texans this year. Jonah Williams, Trent Brown, and Onwenu, obviously, we talked the most about. Yep. But everybody I talked about rated higher per PFF than Jonah Williams.
Right.
Okay.
So, that's just
I'm not gonna lie, man.
We were getting into draft prospects a little bit at right tackle.
I feel a little worse about Jonah Williams now than I did at the beginning of the show. If we keep him, though, I still won't be upset.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say it might actually be beneficial for us. We could say, hey, these guys graded better than you, so obviously they're going to get more money. But I don't know what the market's going to be. That's a
well. Will they though? I mean, remember we thought Jermaine Illuminor because he had good PFF grades last year, and he signed a 1-year, $3 million deal.
Well, how did Mike McGlinchey do after he got
shit? And that's going to deter some teams. He didn't have a good season. Jawan Taylor didn't have a good season.
Exactly.
And these are two right tackles that got over $80 million.
So maybe that brings the market down this year because the two big signings last year played like shit.
Yeah.
So maybe the market comes down.
But you always have your teams that are like, oh, we can fix them. Or, I mean, Jawan Taylor was so much better. I don't know what happened with the Chiefs. Like, that went to hell quickly. But they're still playing, right? Yep. They're still playing.
Yeah, they are.
So maybe it's working out now. I don't know.
Also, fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah. Now, here's one.
We can.
Ronald mentions. I want to get to this. Sorry, Derek, real quick. We talked playoffs. We talked that first. But Delmar Glaze out of Maryland, he's interesting. He put him as a guard, but he's played center and he's played tackle. He played left tackle at Maryland this year, and I like this tape. Like, I still can't put him up with the top tier guys because of his size. He's undersized. He lacks some bulk, but he has great feet. Great ability to block in space. And he has 5-position versatility. There's a couple guys in this draft. Graham Barton's another one from Duke that you could put basically anywhere along your line. And that's so valuable, that if you need it in a pinch or if there's an injury, you can put a guy there and move somebody else in that's stronger at the position that's on your roster. So I really like Delmar Glaze too. And Miguel's saying Joe Goodberry thinks Jonah will get 15 to 18 million. And yeah, I can see it because he's young, the pedigree, he's played a lot of football. I mean, maybe the PFF grades aren't there, but like JJ Watt said, grades for coaches, grades for PFF can be way off. And he's seen it. So a lot of people are probably going to have Jonah rated a lot higher than what this PFF does.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Derek. What were you?
I was just on the fuck the Chiefs thing. I was going to say you can say fuck the Chiefs and also not be rooting for Baltimore. Those two are not mutually exclusive or whatever.
Right. And like I said, Chop said he's going to wait till the game starts. And I said, well, I'm just kind of like leaning toward the Ravens as of now because I'm just sick of seeing the Chiefs there. And I think Patrick Mahomes is a crybaby. Those are my biggest reasons. And that's just how I feel. You know what I mean? If somebody feels differently, 100%. I haven't had bad Twitter interactions with the Ravens and this and that because I don't engage it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I never had any bad. Like the Ravens, to be honest with you, I wasn't butthurt. They won the Super Bowl that one year, really, compared. Everybody knows me. The Browns are the team. When the Browns lost, that was just a great day for me. It goes Browns, Steelers, and Ravens.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, Derek, Chop has figured out why balloons go off and everything. It's his computer, when he does certain hand signals, makes different stuff happen.
Yeah,
So,
Chop, do 2 thumbs up real quick.
That's
Oh, yeah, it's the 4th of July.
Oh, God.
That's the one that James Rapine did on Locked On.
This is the one I did by accident. I didn't know. I went like this with the peace signs.
Yeah.
Oh, there comes confetti. Woo!
Right.
It's a party.
Balloons, confetti, all kinds of stuff.
I know. Get yourself a Mac, and you can have fun. You can have lasers shooting off, fireworks, confetti, balloons. You can give a thumbs up. Where the fuck is it?
2 thumbs up.
Then you can get mad at it. No, 1 thumb and a thumbs down. Oh, see, you were.
Oh, there it is.
praising
Yeah.
There it is.
There you are.
Oh my.
Oh man, it's a lot of fun.
What else you guys got? Come on now. I've talked a lot.
Anyway, hey, real quick. Who is our initial lean? I'm going to say it's going to be a Ravens Detroit Super Bowl.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the graphic wins again. But
Yeah, I also think so. And I think the Ravens win the Super Bowl, to be honest. I think it's Ravens 49ers with the Ravens winning.
Yep.
I know that Matt was like in our thing, he thinks that the 49ers are going to win, but man, Baltimore already went out there and fucking kicked their ass.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Baltimore made it look like it was just like a walk in the park there.
Hey, Baltimore didn't do it as good as Joe did.
No, he did not.
Baltimore still did it.
I will say this, though. If Kansas City doesn't win, you will no longer have Swifties watching NFL football. So I don't know if that plays a part in it or not, but I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
So you're telling me Greg's not going to watch?
No, I'll watch either way.
Chop said, yeah, there's a Romeo and Juliet song. Don't ask me how I know. What did you say, Greg?
Oh, that's on the year was 2009 or 8.
Yeah, right.
Fearless album, and it's called Love Story. It was also remastered too once.
Oh my God. This man just spit.
I will say that was her country right before she went to pop.
No. I was a big fan of her when she was like in the whole country sing. When she went pop, and that's when she became more famous. And who am I to say? I was a bigger fan when she was in the country music. When she was when she was part of country music.
If you know Tim McGraw,
yes,
you know my favorite song.
There you go.
You think all night long.
Yep.
On the moonlight by the lake.
Teardrops on My Guitar. White Horse. That was another good one. I know all of them.
Yep.
Huh. That's
but I'm not a
interesting.
Swiftie.
I'm kind of a Metallica, Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm a proud Swiftie. You know what? She's a bear. Here's the thing. She's a Bearcats fan now. That's all I care right now.
Not for long. She goes through. I've heard she goes through men pretty quick. So probably not a Bearcat fan for long.
I'm just enjoying it for the time being, though. That's one good thing.
If you want to enjoy it, she's dating Travis Kelce, man. Fucking Kansas City Chief douchebag.
Can we say, though, Jason Kelce is a national treasure and he deserves to be
yes.
like one?
Yeah,
another Bearcat.
He fucking was fronting on Greg with his nipples out.
Yeah, I was going to say, who did it better? Who did it better, Jason Kelce or me?
You did it better, Greg. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Kelce, Greg.
I don't know. Jason Kelce fucking pounded a beer and then jumped out of a window.
Right.
It was pretty badass.
That's pretty badass. No, Jason's got me beat.
You got to take your shirt off and do more badass stuff.
Yeah,
I do. And it was colder out there, too, so he probably got me beat.
Well, he was in a suite, though. They probably had some heat going.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. He had enough liquid courage. I don't think he gave 2 fucks.
Yeah.
Look at this. Matt's with me, man. Fuck Taylor Swift. Metallica, Ozzy Osbourne.
I like Metallica. I like all kinds of music.
Damn. Uh-oh. Well, now we're getting paid. Are the Swift Ref Chiefs strong enough to overcome the logo?
Oh, here we go. Here we go here. Derek, you can't see this. Shelly in the chat says, couldn't you see Jason Kelce doing a beer can titties?
I mean, I can show him how it's done.
Yeah, you need to show it how it's done.
Greg, is the gas on at your house? It went all like weird in the top.
Yeah.
Your screen. You know how it gets those waves in it? Like, it's just your camera.
Just the camera.
Yeah.
No, Ravens fans cheer. You know what, Miguel? You do have a point there.
Hold on. Let's go back to Tyler here because we put up his super chat.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
he paid us, Greg. He's a paying customer.
Yeah, and Greg's just like,
Greg's like, put that
Taylor
Philly
Swift!
down here. Brow.
No,
He's like,
"Oh."
Tyler
American
Tyler only
taste.
got fucking 2 cents out of his $4.99 here. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see.
The pull of the Swifties. But did you guys really think that the refs had any impact in the overall in the outcome of that Bills Chiefs game?
No, I don't think
anything
there might have been one or two calls that could have went either way.
The refs did not make that guy miss that field goal.
No.
Exactly.
No.
And the refs did not make them do a freaking fake punt run with DeMar Hamlin. That was so stupid.
Yeah.
That
On
was
their own
fucking
35
dumb as
yard line.
shit. I said at that time when I was at work and other people were watching it with me, I said, that's the fucking play right there that's going to cost them the game. Then they fucking fumbled it out of the end zone and they got it back at the 25, the touchback. And I thought, well, that erased that. So that's not the reason they lost, if you ask me. But that was a dumb fucking call.
This comment is hilarious, and Greg's not going to like it. So close your ears, Greg. Not much tread left on Swift's tires at this point.
Yeah.
God damn that!
Hey,
Woohoo!
no comment on that.
I do have a guilty pleasure when it comes to like someone like Taylor Swift, but mine is Lady Gaga. I don't fucking know why, but that goddamn Poker Face song, man, when that bitch comes on my Amazon Music, I will turn that one up.
Did you guys?
But she's literally just keeps repeating fuck her face, and I think that's probably why I like it.
Oh, jeez, child. Okay.
I mean, she repeats it over and over in the song.
Fuck my face.
Fuck her face, fuck her face, fuck her face.
I don't think that's what it says, child.
No, you listen to those lyrics. That
Those
whole
words?
song is about sex. Filling her love cavity or some shit like that.
Well,
And as Chris Crowley says, that's totally different than Taylor Swift. She has a bunch of songs about ex-boyfriends, but no songs about giving
That's
blowjobs.
true.
Coincidence?
And Lady Gaga does, see? That Poker Face, man, that's about blowjobs.
Yeah, and Antoine says Megan Thee Stallion for me. Yeah, true. God damn.
And Madonna
Antoine.
back in the day.
God damn, Antoine. I'll feel you.
So anyway, draft
so,
prospects, right tackles.
we already talked J.C. Latham because he's been mocked to us quite a bit. Fuaga, also big, strong, powerful guy. Obviously, I could talk about him a lot. We talked about him on the draft show. We did quite a bit. I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go to the Jets at 10.
I have an irrational love for Tyler Guyton.
It's not irrational.
I don't honestly. I think by the time the draft rolls around, pick 18, it might be right up his alley.
Yeah,
because I think he's going to test really well.
I wouldn't disagree. Do you want my notes on him?
Yeah, I want
sure.
your notes on him.
Sure, go for it.
Who's this guy? Right. Say his name again.
Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. Yep. 1-year starter at right tackle, but Oklahoma's had some damn good offensive tackles that he's playing behind.
Sure.
Elite athlete, great length, strong anchor, lateral agility. He's explosive off the line. Just a lot to like there. He basically moves like a tight end at tackle. Like that's about the best way to say it. Cons, I put, you could say he's a bit raw because he's a 1-year starter. Inconsistent pad level. A lot of these tall offensive tackles are going to have inconsistent pad level. It just happens. Smaller guys can get underneath them, get around them that way. Recovery footwork could use some work. And then he, as great of an athlete as he is, he's great in space, moving in space, but connecting with his actual target in space on tape was the problem. Like, he's got to get better at that. But with the Bengals, they don't normally ask the right tackle to be out there pulling but second level blocking, just latching onto your target for bigger plays. He could improve in that aspect, but I think he's definitely in that conversation for 18.
Hey, Dale, Miguel wants to know what starting OT can the Bengals get second or third round?
I think Jordan Morgan from Arizona is more of a left tackle. but I mean, there's a lot to like with him. Same thing with Patrick Paul. So I'm just going to give a couple that I think, and these are more third round guys, but I think that I don't know if they'd start day one. And that's where I'd like to have a veteran like a Luminor on a year contract if I got these third round guys. Mm-hmm. But Blake Fisher from Notre Dame and then Matt Goncalves from Pitt is another guy that I just really liked. And it's unfortunate he had an injury, only played 3 games this season. But on tape, he looks really good. And I think maybe he moves to guard in the NFL. But I think he could stick at right tackle. He just gets the job done. We talked about him on the draft show last week with Incomings from Pro Football Network. I really like him. So those are 2 guys that have played right tackle. I think could stay at right tackle in the NFL, and I would feel like, and maybe they do start. Like I think they both have the potential that they could start year one, but it's a little harder to bank on somebody in the 3rd round than the 1st.
Shelly wants to know what's up with Tony Romo. Tony Romo is going to be Tony Romo. Clearly he has favorites, right? Who he likes to talk about.
Yeah.
He wasn't like intolerable, I didn't think, yesterday. I think he must have seen where everybody on Twitter was posting about him just sucking their dicks off so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt he cared. He wiped his chin and kept on sucking.
Yeah. Strawberry says, unfortunately, I wasn't going to be able to make it. By the way, your draft show was Friday. Thank you, Strawberry. Chris here says, Lions signing Zach Ertz. Yeah, what's your guys' take on Zach Ertz? I mean, I know the Lions just lost one of their tight ends for the year. So,
Who'd they lose, if you don't mind me asking?
Florida,
right? But
yeah, I forget the kid's name. But yeah, no, I mean, you have him and Laporta now. I mean, not a bad group right there.
How'd you like to be like Zach Ertz and just sitting on your fucking couch and season's over and all of a sudden you get a call like, hey, you want to come play for this playoff team and have a chance to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, you want to have a chance to go to the Super Bowl in this next.
You didn't do shit to get us here, but would you like a fucking ring possibly? Come on.
Yeah. I think it was Dale. I think it was the tight end. I think his last name was Wright. I think that's what you're talking about. He scored.
I will say, like Laporta, he also was a little dinged up before the playoffs. He's looked fine in the playoffs, but why wouldn't you want to have depth? A guy goes down, you can bring in a Zach Ertz. That's a no-brainer.
Right. I mean, gives you great veteran leadership. I mean, Laporta though. Could you guys argue he was definitely a top 10 tight end this year, right?
I think
he was the best rookie tight end, and
best rookie tight end. But could you almost argue?
I know what you're saying. He's top 5 tight end in the NFL.
Yeah,
top 5.
Hockenson, Kelsey, Kittle, and then you can make an argument that you would put him at 4.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Hawkinson's up there too. He had the
That's
most.
Why I said Hawkinson, Kelsey, and Kittle would be the top.
I agree with that.
And then at 4, you can make the argument.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and also a lot of people here are agreeing with you in the chat about your thing on Tony Romo, Dale. Nobody's disagreeing with you, buddy.
Go. That's Tony Romo when it comes to Patrick Mahomes.
Come guzzler.
You ever seen a former NFL quarterback that's an NFL announcer suck the dick of someone who sounds like Kermit the Frog? Yes, you have, because you've heard Tony Romo on this.
It's true.
Yes, you have. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to tell you guys it was a surprise. Tony Romo was going to be a special guest on our show next week, but he's probably not now.
Damn.
Yeah, he's probably back.
Hey, I might end up loving him. I used to be like, fuck one guy, and then I talked to him, and I love the guy now. You never know.
Don't put Corey Dillon in this same category.
Yeah.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah. Sorry, Corey. Fuck Tony Romo.
We never said that you gulp dicks down, Corey. I promise.
No, I wasn't talking like that. Jesus Christ, you're going to get my ass whooped.
Yeah. Chop actually said you guzzled a lot of cock, Corey. I'm just saying.
Antoine's asking what Planet Fitness commercial. Yeah.
I don't know what that's from.
I don't know what that's from either. Sorry, Antoine.
I can tell you this, though. You go in there and work out, and there's no pressure. They don't like bullies.
Strawberry says, should I ask Corey about this on the show today?
I was not making a cum guzzling reference. I was talking about how I hated somebody, and then I loved somebody. No cum guzzling involved.
To be clear, you never said.
Right.
So,
Megan Thee
Clip this and
Stallion
send it
playing
to
a
Corey.
fitness
Corey
commercial.
Dillon, I did not say you were a cum guzzler like fucking Tony Romo. That was not the comparison. The comparison was on how I was like, fuck Corey Dillon, and I talked to you, and now we got a fucking man thing going on.
Okay, Antoine was answering someone else who asked me him that. Okay.
Well, I just want to say I think I have seen the Planet Fitness commercial, but whoever brought that up, I just want to let you know there's way better videos with Megan Thee Stallion in there. That Planet Fitness commercial that airs on national TV.
Yeah.
These don't air on national TV videos. Yeah. Sorry.
Megan who?
Megan Thee Stallion. The Stallion, Chop. Have you seen her twerk that booty?
I have to see her. I don't know who she is, man. I don't keep up on that shit. Megan who?
I mean, I don't either. I don't know who you guys are talking about.
yeah. So I do need to.
What's
I
her
do need
last
to address
name?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Thee.
Yeah. I do need to
so
address
Ohio
one
State
thing.
can't sue her.
Yeah, right. So if you guys haven't had a chance, it's on podcast form now, but you guys had Ian Cummings on the show last Friday,
He's
and
awesome.
that was one of the best interviews I think you guys have ever done, because that guy was so knowledgeable, and I felt like a sponge, just absorbing everything that you guys said. But that was a really, really good interview. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, go back and listen to it, because
Damn.
dude knows his stuff for sure.
Man, she got some thighs on her, don't she?
Oh, Antoine here saying Ruby Rose also is a rapper from Kentucky. I did not know she was from Kentucky.
I did not know that either.
Maybe she's a Bengals fan even. She's number 2. Chop.
That fucking Megan chick's got some nice thighs, man. Keep your ears warm.
Keep your ears warm, he says. That's 2 thumbs up for Megan Thee Stallion.
That's right.
Fireworks are going off on the screen.
Yeah.
For the podcast listeners, there are fireworks on the screen when Chop gave 2 thumbs up for Megan Thee Stallion and her thick thighs.
Yeah.
Thick with 2 Ks.
Who was the other one? Ruby Rose?
Yeah.
Ruby Rose.
All right. What else you guys want to talk about?
Oh, go ahead, Derek.
I was going to say, I wanted another guy draft crush of mine is I can't remember his first name. Last name's Wiley, the tight end.
Yeah. I think I've got him at like tight end 5 now. Jared Wiley.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a real chance to impress at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
God damn.
you want my notes on him?
Around, man. I'll take Ruby Rose first. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What y'all talking about?
Drops down the rabbit hole.
Chop's loving life right now.
Man, I'm telling you, I'll be a little bit longer in the shower today.
Chop's too distracted right now.
Yeah, I got to go scrub my taint right now.
So Jared Wiley.
You're right.
The tight end from TCU. He's like 6'7", 240. So you wonder, like, is he almost too tall? But he doesn't play like he's too tall. You see some of these guys. I think he's a better athlete than what the one guy is from Florida State that's like 6'7" that plays wide receiver. And I know some people like him. I was not high on him. I don't know why his name's escaping me. But anyway, so obviously ideal size, length. He's got great hands. 6'7" with great hands. He's a pretty good blocker too. So he's not one-dimensional, just pass catcher. But they do line him out wide at times. They move him around. So he's got a good football IQ and good straight line speed. For a guy 6'7", 240, he can move really well. High cut frame would be a con, which pad level goes right along with it. Run after catch balance. I mean, obviously, anytime you're 6'7", guys cutting at your knees, chopping at your legs, that's going to happen. And you see that on tape. High effort blocker, but the footwork isn't always great, and technique. So he could refine the blocking, but I'm pretty high on him, man. I really am.
Yeah. And would it be too simple to say he's like a good comp would be Mo Alley Cox?
I think he's way more athletic.
Way more athletic? Okay.
And probably not he's not that good of a blocker.
Okay.
He's a solid blocker, and maybe he gets to that level.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's there right now.
What about the tight end out of Texas? Tell me about him.
Jatavion Sanders.
Yes.
Yeah,
I see him mocked to us a couple different times.
Yeah, I mean, just without looking at my notes, like, dude, watching him on tape is fun. He's a former wide receiver, so he has great hands. Like, his ability to run after catch is insane. He's just an impressive guy. His blocking, he blocks really well in space. Obviously, as like an inline tight end, that blocking's not always there. They split him out a lot, so he doesn't always get those opportunities. But he shows that he's a willing blocker, which is part of the battle. You think former wide receiver, can he do it? I think he can. I think he could be a good enough blocker in the NFL. Like, I've got him as a clear – like, Brock Bowers is just insane. What he can do after catch, everything like that. He's clear in his own tier. But then I have Jatavion Sanders in his own tier. There's no one else even close to those two guys. It's Bowers, Sanders, everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, what about Sanders versus Kincaid?
I mean, they're different. Kincaid's longer, both good athletes. Probably the length would be the biggest thing. Catch radius would be like, but he doesn't have, he's younger. Kincaid was a little bit older. Yeah. And he doesn't have, a bad injury history like Kincaid had. Mm-hmm. So I would have him as a better prospect than Kincaid. But I understand the appeal with Kincaid. It's just when you have so many injuries and stuff, and like right now, Kincaid's killing it.
Yes,
he
is.
And that potential was always there. You watch it just tape-wise without knowing the injury, the age, this, that, and the other. You see Kincaid, you're like, holy shit, he's awesome. And he is. He's really good, and he's been really good for Buffalo. But those are still concerns. So as a prospect, just as a pure prospect, I definitely put Sanders ahead of him.
Well, the reason I ask is because that, the rumor was that Cincinnati would have picked Kincaid if he was there at our pick last year. So when you're describing Sanders from Texas, it kind of sounds like Kincaid, like willing blocker, super good catcher, used to be a wide receiver, soft hands, runs good routes. So it sounds a lot like Kincaid.
Yeah, and he, like, age-wise, like I said, he was younger. So looking at the note, turns 21 this March.
Hey.
He's still 20 years old. He's done all this as a 2-year starter at ages 19 and 20 at Texas. So.
If he was on Bengals and Brews, he'd have to have a glass of milk.
Yeah.
He's not old enough to have a brew
couldn't
yet.
even have a brew yet.
Right.
But, and his yards per catch, I wrote down 15.6 yards per catch. So
I got plenty of milk in my fridge.
Explosive guy.
That's true. If you don't mind drinking out of the carton after Greg, you can have some milk there, and Greg will also hook him up with a piece of ass.
Piece of ass.
But yeah, I think Sanders would give us an awesome element in the tight end room. So
yes, he would.
Yeah, if he was there in round 2.
Yeah.
Boom, man.
So one thing I want to discuss, Goodberry discussed this too, is Dan Pitcher. I think we can all agree it's just a matter of time before Callahan gets a head coaching job. But you know what he talked about Dan Pitcher. What's interesting is Pitcher, in a way, has leverage with the Bengals. So if Callahan goes somewhere, what if Callahan says to Pitcher or somebody on the other team says, hey, you get to call the plays, you call the shots, whereas in Cincinnati, Taylor's going to be calling the plays. What if Pitcher says to Cincinnati, look, I'm offered by this team to be a play caller, and, here I'll be with the Bengals, but I won't get to have much say in calling players, or, who knows what Zach would have with them. But I think, in a way, Pitcher does, and like Goodberry was saying, Pitcher does have leverage in a way. Do you agree?
Yeah, but also the one thing Pitcher is going to have to look at is, do I want to go somewhere else and call the plays and potentially have a worse quarterback situation? Or, you've seen, it might have taken a few extra years, but it's clear to me that if you're an offensive coordinator for Cincinnati Bengals, you're going to get a head coaching position at some point or another.
Man, you guys both, I think, make great points. Greg, that was a great question. Great points. Derek, great counterpoint. Honestly, because I agree with everything you guys both have said, because I could see Pitcher and somebody offering that. Somebody saying, hey, we're bringing you – I don't think it would be Callahan. I think Callahan would call his own plays.
Right.
But for somebody else, a defensive-minded head coach that gets hired wants to bring in Pitcher and says, you're the offensive guy. Because then he can say that in his interviews. But at the same point in time, look who you're working with. You want to stay here and work with Joe Burrow, and even your
Right.
backup Jake Browning had a good season, or do you want to go somewhere and we're probably drafting a rookie, But some guys want the challenge, so it cuts both ways. But I think you guys both make great points.
My opinion is that if something happens and we lose Callahan and we lose pitcher, I'm going to be okay with it because, and it's not a hating on either one of them kind of thing. It's just that let's just take Baltimore for an example. I thought they were going to fall on their face when Todd Monken came in and he redid the whole offense, and it turned out fucking great. And I have been saying that I think our offense should be putting up 30 points every fucking game at least, and it doesn't happen. So if there is a change and a whole different offensive-minded person comes in, I'm okay with it.
A different voice, somebody to bring some fresh ideas in beyond what you already have. And maybe, another great point. You guys are killing it.
Okay.
Well, no,
I guess I'm just playing the – sorry.
I don't think we have to make phone calls. I think he'll be calling the Bengals saying, I want to come here now. And all that. I don't think we'd have to make chopped head on that. I don't think Bengals have to be making any phone calls. I think they would be getting phone calls.
Well, we didn't make a phone call last year to get Orlando Brown.
No, we did not.
He made the call.
But I will bring up a name if we're in the market for one, and that's right back. I know Karen says, well, he didn't do the stuff at LSU. He was still at LSU. He still knows Chase. He still knows Burrow.
Right.
So why is his name escaping me? I don't know. I was trying to draw it out so the name would hit me, and it's not. You guys know who I'm talking about. That
up in Buffalo?
Joe
Brady?
Joe Brady. Thank you. So Joe Brady, what would you guys think about Joe Brady? Because now they're out of the playoffs. Maybe they're like, oh, well, he was an interim hire. So I don't know that they've committed to him. I haven't seen that. If they
I would not
to him, and we have an opening. That seems like a good situation for both parties to me.
I would not bitch. I'll put it that way.
No, I would be great with it. Bring him in some. You know what? If they let him go, bring him in some kind of offensive role. Remember when they brought fucking
quarterback coach?
Jesus Christ, what was his name that Marvin Lewis brought in as an assistant or something like that? The assistant's assistant.
Oh, and Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson, that's right.
Didn't work out, but yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, you just give him some bullshit role to bring him in here and see what happens.
Well, here's another guy to throw out there. He shouldn't have been fired. Who was the Browns offensive coordinator? Van Pelt. He should have never
Scott Van Pelt, or not Scott Van Pelt.
Alex
Van Pelt.
Yeah.
He should have
He
never
was an
been
offensive coordinator. He was the quarterback coach, right?
Quarterback's coach. Well, there you go.
If pitcher's out as quarterback coach, let's say Callahan comes back, he doesn't get a job. I think he's getting a job too. You know, Titans or Panthers. I think he could go to either one of those. Makes a ton of sense for either one of those, and he does have second interviews with both.
Yep.
Atlanta sounds like Belichick, right? Still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't go to the Panthers because if he goes to the Panthers, Hayden Hurst and Von Miller stay. But if it's not the Panthers and the guy comes in and they get rid of both Bell and Hurst, I'm making a phone call to both of them. And I know Hurst had a scary injury, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? If Callahan goes there, he's keeping Bell.
Oh yeah. He'll probably keep Hurst too because he's got continuity with him.
Yeah, no, I would not complain about Joe Brady.
But look, there is drastic differences here. So one comment we've got Chris saying, "I'm all in on Joe Brady. Let him call the plays. Let Zach let him call the plays." And David Gabbard, no Joe Brady. The Bills' offense sucks. So there is a wide opinion on him.
Right.
And he was interim guy. We don't know how much were they already doing because that was already how much did he have. But I do know they were like 6-6 and made a hell of a run and were playing really good after he took over. So I'm with you guys. Like, I'm not going to fully say one way or the other, but I would just think he's definitely would be a name to consider. Obviously, Dan Pitcher is going to be the one promoted as long as he don't go somewhere else. But in this scenario, we lose both. I think you could do worse than bringing in a guy who knows your quarterback, knows your number one receiver, and maybe knows your third running back if they bring in Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yep.
Yeah. But the one thing the one guy we're all forgetting on that I think if Dan Pitcher goes too, you've also got Troy Walters. So,
that's true.
That's another guy that could potentially take. I don't think there's going to be an outside hire at offensive coordinator. I think if they do bring in Joe Joe Brady, it might be as a quarterback's coach. And I think in that case, it would be Troy Walters as the offensive coordinator.
I think Walters is more likely to follow Callahan as offensive coordinator, though. Too.
Yeah, that's true.
The Cardinals, like right after they lost out on what's his name, Lou Anarumo, they did interview Troy Walters. I think he interviewed for the Texans and the Cardinals last year as offensive coordinator. So no, you're right, Derek. That's another one that everybody keeps forgetting about.
And then there was one other guy. I can't ever remember how his name is pronounced. And maybe Dale, you might be able to help me out with this one.
Penis.
Yes, penis.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's like or is it Graziano? Or
I'm not sure.
I do not know.
Ruby
there's
Rose.
Yeah. There's
Megan
one other
Thee
guy for the
Stallion.
Bengals.
Megan Thee Stallion.
But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dale, I got a question for you.
Penis.
While I got you here.
Oh,
Penis. That's true.
that's the answer.
Good answer.
After listening to you guys talk with Ian, was there any players that you either said, "Oh, I need to move this guy up or move this guy down," or maybe I need to take a second look at this guy? Or was there any guys for you that Ian made you kind of take a second look on?
No, because I'm a fucking expert, Derek, and I fucking
That's right.
know everything. And my opinion
You might
only
pose that same
one
question to
that
Ian about
matters.
Dale.
Yes.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
You should ask Ian if he's changed his position according to what Dale said.
No, we like pretty crazy that we had a lot of thoughts. Like, and he posted something on Twitter today of some guys he might be higher on than others. And I was like, I agree with every one of them, and added about 5 or 6 more names for him, that I was higher on than others. So, but I will say a guy I hadn't watched it, and I watched him today some, is another offensive tackle, late round guy, small school, Western Kentucky, Josiah Ezareem or Ezareem. I'm probably mispronouncing the last name, but he was a guy wasn't on my radar, so I went and watched him, added him to the board. I still got him as like a 6th, 7th round guy. Small school, but good size, good length, a lot of power, plays with a wide base. Foot quickness, balance, those are maybe some issues. Did have some injuries before, but he's a guy, during this bowl season and the combine, different things, that I think his name could start being mentioned a lot more. So he definitely gave me that name. He gave a couple others. Aaron Casey at linebacker was another one. I went back and watched, and I was like, oh, shit, man, he wasn't on my radar. And you go back and watch, he balled out against Ohio State. So, linebacker from Indiana, Aaron Casey. So that's another guy. So he definitely gave some names that wasn't on my radar, and I was like, hell yeah, that guy, he knows his stuff. So, like, seriously, anybody that's not following him, it's IC_draft on Twitter, and then Pro Football Network. The stuff they pump out, the content they pump out is insane. Like, everybody knows the big names, but those guys aren't pumping out the same amount of content because they don't have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't have, like, they can just talk about it. They can go somewhere and talk about it. These guys are pumping out content that they're getting paid to probably do it. And the more content they pump out, probably the better for them. So,
yeah.
But I was super impressed with him.
What about that? What about Scooby Doo?
Yeah, Rook Aroro. Chop, who's that?
That's that Ruby Rose, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That picture's going straight to the shower with pork chop.
God damn. I'm printing that bitch out, man. Get off the printer.
That's going on the wall. There. That's going on the ceiling, actually. Poster that on the ceiling.
Man,
I already liked him there, man. So that was one I already liked. But I do love that we came up with a great nickname if we get him. Roro. All right, Scooby Doo.
Ruh-roh.
Love it.
Ruh-roh.
And no, Dale.
No, he's very good defensive tackle, and he's got a high ceiling because he just started playing football like his junior year of high school.
Hey, Dale, since we're talking creative names in the draft, you got to I was thinking. I know we're not probably going, although I wouldn't be against going corner first round. Please tell me about Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah, I actually have his teammate Terrion Arnold at cornerback 1, but I have him at 2.
Gotcha. The Kool-Aid man, a chop. That would be that'd be t-shirt.
Oh yes,
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we talked about he's long, good hands, physical tackler. He has some punt return ability. He's a good impressed man. He gets a little handsy, especially down the field. A little bit of struggling with tracking the deep ball. And his long speed is good, not great. So, but he's a first round corner all day.
Is he like an outside corner or slot corner or
outside? Yeah.
Okay.
He's long enough, got good size.
Well, I don't want to piss off Chop here because I know DJ Turner. He'd be competing with DJ.
Listen, with Kool-Aid, every time he makes a play, like you know how we go, juice.
Yeah.
We can all go, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's do this.
60,000 people. Oh yeah.
Kool-Aid McKinstry just busting through on a football field.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll campaign for because corner. Look, if corner's the best player available, if it is Kool-Aid, take him,
dude. If anybody bitches about us getting a fucking good corner and his name is Kool-Aid, I'm gonna fucking slap him.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, Houday. Kool-Aid, Houday.
Fucking Kool-Aid. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Houday.
And shout out to Houday Joe and Derek was high on him before I was, but I liked him a lot. Yeah. But the more you watch him, the more you like them. Jameer Gibbs from last year.
Oh, my God.
Dang.
Dude, I thought
the Gibbs train. Choo, choo.
Dude, Joe, you got a lot of bragging rights there, buddy.
Yeah, he was clear, like, running back, too. It was just like, him going 12, it's like, yeah, it was shocking on draft day. But talent-wise, it wasn't crazy, at all because he's that damn good. He's explosive, pass catching. Like, he's fun. And he was even blocking. Like, pass blocking was a big knock, and he stepped up.
Dude, he freaking busted that guy today.
He did, man. Oh, my God.
If we get a good offensive tackle, that's the one we'll call Fat Albert. Hey,
all right.
Hey.
If we need him named to be Albert.
They're no longer on speaking terms right now.
You and Gibbs, you're done. You're mad at him?
Yeah. Because his touchdown kept me from getting about $1,200 this weekend. If that would have been David Montgomery,
he wouldn't have gotten in the end zone.
Kincaid would have got a touchdown. I'd have got 300 or something.
True. That's true. Oh, I was so mad. I was sending all my freaking trash tickets to you guys because David Montgomery couldn't freaking do nothing.
I heard toward the end of the year, all these guys, I'm done betting. Like, it was like week 15, 16. Yeah, I'm not betting anymore this season,
No, to be fair, I said no more this year.
It's a new year. It's a new year. It's a new me. Yeah. Man, y'all are awesome. That was a fun show.
Hell yeah.
Enjoyed it. This is why it's good to do. Multiple week, man. The chat was lively. Chop is still looking at pictures of.
I'm fixing to go get in the shower, man. I'm fueling up.
He's in love.
You know what? Shout out to viewers. We had a lot more viewers come in today too. I've noticed that we don't see every now and then. So shout out to all the viewers too.
Shout out to everybody getting to watch Pork Chop over there edging.
Yes.
Look at that, man.
This is Antoine's fault. Antoine, look what you created.
Look what you did, bro.
Antoine did this, and then he probably left the chat. He ain't even seeing what he's done to this show. He's throwing the show completely off the rails from Pork Chop. Just, it's nothing but pictures. First it was fireworks, and now his pants are having fireworks.
Yeah.
There's some fireworks going off, man. Yeah. Well, boys, I got to get a shower.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all for
I hope we got conditioner.
We'll definitely be back Friday. I think we're still on the 2 days a week. As we get closer to free agency, the draft will probably pick back up to 3 days. And
Dale, and when free agency starts, if there's like an emergency thing happening or something like an emergency signing, I think even if it's 1 a.m, we'll probably do a show like we did.
Not for the school night, Greg.
I don't give a damn, man. Do you think I cared last year when I did 6:30 in the morning when we got Orlando Brown, man? That's the first time you saw my shirt off.
I'll do a live
show. 4 shows that day, and then we break fucking news. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
I'll do a live show at 3 a.m. when I'm on my way to work. How about that?
There we
go.
I'll be at work in the bathroom taking a shit doing it.
There we go. No, Dale, we got to stay committed, man. You and I both. I know you and I both work in the school system, but we got to do by any means necessary, Dale.
Well, at least when free agency happens, it should be warmer out than it is now. Because I'm telling you, it's cold in this garage.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I've got a heater right here,
Yeah.
but it is not very helpful when it's so cold and this is not
I
enough to
My
keep
basement's cold as shit
heat.
too, man. If I don't turn my heater on, it's 51 degrees down here.
Man,
shut
it is a.
It's probably 20 degrees in here. John.
Yeah, you're right.
It is a
Right.
It's a balmy 41 degrees outside right now.
That's hot as fuck compared to the
It's
last few
supposed
days,
to warm
man.
up, but that's what I'm saying.
No, it's
The
supposed to be like
garage, though, where it was like so cold, it was down in single temperatures. Like all that
Yeah.
cold air is in this garage,
Right.
and it's not.
you guys know what though? When I was out shoveling snow at times, I wasn't wearing a jacket or anything.
Did you take
But
your
you had
pants
your
off?
shirt on.
No, I didn't take my pants off, but you know what, man? I felt like the Bengals in that freezer bowl. When you're up against the snow, you got to do by any means necessary. I just move around easier without a jacket. You got to. Well, no, I'll. But it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm inside a indoor mower that has heat in there.
You're right. It has nothing to do with the fucking heat blowing on you inside the fucking tractor.
Yeah, but when I'm out there,
count.
man, I'm out there, man, going pause buddy. When it deals with the snow, the gloves come off.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The gloves come off.
Well, after it snowed, I thought, oh, I'll just go out in my sandals because, well, I told you guys how I
Yeah.
that thing and it had ice in it and hurt my toes, so I didn't want to put shoes on. I had socks on, but I just put sandals on, and the snow was fairly thick. So trying to go just check the mail, I just kept like my sandals were falling off. Yeah, that was a bad time.
Yeah.
The story is, don't do that. That was stupid.
No.
Fuck the winter, man. Please, Puxatawny Phil, don't see your shadow. Fuck this shit.
We miss Sleeveless Dale too.
Yeah, that ain't happening right now.
No. Dale,
We
as a
did
matter
plenty
of
of
fact,
sleeveless Dell in the summer.
I saw that
when the
Dale
garage-
ordered nothing but sleeves from the
Right.
shop.
extra.
Like no shirts, just sleeves. He's
Extra
putting them back.
sleeves.
He's sewing them back on.
Yeah. Sleeves only. I'm not been wearing headbands lately because they're all sewn back on. Like this.
Yeah.
I've had to put them back on the shirts. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's cold.
Well, we will be back Friday at 3:30. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all.